Have you ever been on a job site feeling really good? You just sold this nice remodel. It's an addition with a new bathroom and kitchen. Got a bunch of demo. It's the first day. Man, things are going smooth. This homeowner is great. The neighborhood's perfect. This is the job you've been dreaming about. And all of a sudden, the homeowner notices as you've ripped out the ceiling to this look up and under the bathroom, and they ask you, "Hey, what is that?" And you're like, "What is what?" And they point to that stuff. And it's like, maybe it's black, maybe it's like something growing. And they're like, "Mike, can you guys take care of that, man?" Take care of what? If they use a certain word, you better say, huh? You know what I'm talking about? Man, the minute the M word comes out on a job site, it better not come from your mouth. All right? I can tell you that this is a nightmare waiting to happen. And for me, we had this exact scenario. Here I am. We're doing a bathroom demolition, kitchen demolition. We're building an addition. And unfortunately, the client had had some sort of a leak for some time with that bathroom. And you look up and there is something growing all over those joists, and it ain't pretty. And that homeowner goes, "Hey, would you just clean that up for us?" And somebody happened to say the word. You know what that word was? Homeowner goes, "Hey, would you take care of that mold?" Man, right then, boom, stomach. I feel it in the gut, because if you know what I know, the M word, that ain't just a quick cleanup. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Look, I get it. I didn't realize it. Most remodelers don't realize that an innocent question like that, before you know it, it could cost you your bank account, your license, and your reputation. All like that before you even know it.
Hello, this is the Hack Hour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Menges.
Hey, I'm Mike Menges, longtime remodeler, founder of the Remodeling Academy. And here, we don't just teach about basics of remodeling. We are raising the bar one system, framework, and process at a time. We're here, we're building remodel rebels and renegades, guys that are leveling up and changing the industry so that the experience for everybody when it comes to remodeling goes like that, right? We know the bar is set low. So here, our mission, we are trying to destroy that image. You know the one, the lazy, disorganized contractor stereotype, the guy with 7,000 receipts and junk stuffed in the dash of his vehicle that pulls up and crap falls out when he opens up the doors. And we are replacing that, right, with an image of somebody that's professional, can speak well, has systems, and actually earns a profit so they can stay in business long enough to warrant the project they just completed. So look, if you've ever felt like you're better than this competition and you're struggling, right? And you're looking around and you're like, how is it that I am losing jobs to Chuck in a truck and, Bill with a briefcase guy? Like, you're in the right place. So I'm going to break down some frameworks that help. And these are things that we share and talk about all the time here at the Remodeling Academy. All right. So the M word, it's mold, right? And if you hear it, you don't want to be the one saying it. If a customer brings it up, you better document it, that they mentioned it. And here's the thing. So this is the truth about the M word. Mold isn't just a cleaning issue. It's a legit legal issue. All right. Here's my background. I've been a licensed contractor, a licensed home inspector, a licensed real estate agent. And over the years, this issue comes up, and I've seen it on many different circumstances. I've seen it from different angles. All right. Early on in my career, I got to be called as an expert witness to help with litigation between homeowners and contractors. So I saw interesting things there. I can tell you right now that you don't want to be the guy that was being nice and went in and tried to help out a homeowner with something that they or you or anyone thought was something, if it hadn't been tested and proven that it was that thing that you thought it was. It's the M word. That's what we're saying, right? So the second that you see something and it doesn't look good, and if you say, yeah, I can handle that, man, you're not just holding a sponge to clean up. You're actually holding a grenade. And it's one that could go off today, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. And it's going to most likely go off in the form of some sort of a lawsuit, a health claim, and or a client saying you contributed to making them sick. And you know what? It's often the guy that was trying to be nice and help out the client that puts himself in this predicament. Don't be that guy. Don't take the hot potato. I don't care who hands it to you. All right. Ask any contractor who's been dragged into some sort of a $100,000, multi-million dollar lawsuit just for trying to help. And they're going to tell you that I'm not exaggerating right now. Look, this is just about you being smart, about me being smart and surviving. Mold has been claimed by many people to say that is the next asbestos. Houses today are built different. Our environment is different. We have houses that don't breathe. We have building materials that suck, right? And we have mold that gets going rampant. Be careful. You don't want to be the guy that's on the wrong end of the blame game in this situation. You want to be the guy that made the right decision and said, "Ho, let's hold on here. Yeah, I know you want me to jump, but I'm not jumping there. Not yet." All right. That's how you help yourself out and you help out your client. All right, so what is it that every remodeler needs to know? There's a couple simple truths that really need to be burned into your brain if they're not. If you're new, or even if you've been in the industry for a while and you've been lackadaisical about the issue, understand that things have changed. Research it now. Look it up. There are a lot of lawsuits that have taken place and transpired. And a lot of people, it is the remodeler that gets burned when they do that. Just trust me on this. Even when you were being the nice guy, even when it wasn't your fault per se, like I didn't cause the leak that caused the thing, but you were the guy that touched the thing. And all of a sudden, you made it worse. So, this M word, understand when you see something on a surface somewhere, you can't call it mold unless you have a physical test proving somebody has to come in and sample that thing, that stuff, that growth, that fungus, whatever it is. Somebody has to say, here it is. Let me take a sample and get it tested at a lab and come back. And now, then we can call it the M word if that's what it is. Otherwise, if you just start saying that it is what it is because you think it is because of the way it looks to be what it is, you are putting yourself into a territory that lawyers would love because you might not be certified, qualified, or licensed to make that assumption or assertion and say that you know what it is because you didn't get it tested. All right. Many states, Florida, Texas, New York, and about a dozen others, they just don't play this game, right? If you are not qualified, insured, licensed, set up properly, had the specific training, you can't be involved in the remediation. It's a crime. So don't touch it, man. I'm telling you. How about this? You think maybe hey, Mike, it's cool. I got liability insurance. I can mess with that. I'll do that demo. It's no big deal. You might not. How about this? Most general liability policies have an explicit mold exclusion. Now, have you ever even read your policy? You might not even know. I know I didn't read mine at first. It took me a little time. I had to watch some other people get burned. So I said, man, maybe I should understand what I am and what I am not covered for. Also, many homeowners' policies aren't looking to cover it either. So when a homeowner finds out that there's some big issue and they can't get paid from their insurance company, that's when they call and they find out that there's an attorney and says, well, who was the contractor that who did the demolition on that? Who removed that? Were they qualified to do that? Oh, they weren't. Let me look them up. Let me see what licenses and certifications they happen to have. Man, that's why they come after you, because the homeowner can't get the money for all these health issues that they're having now to pay for all the doctor bills and visits. They can't get it from insurance, so they're going to get it from you. So you should be very appreciative that you're helping out your clients if this is the kind of acts that you're engaging in. Don't do it. Do not touch anything that looks like it's the M word. All right. So, even if your state doesn't have a specific law around mold, understand that you could still be found on the hook for negligence, because it gets even better. See, many lawyers, judges, and courts are going to say, but you're a professional, and there should be a national standard, right, that you could be held to. Like, you should have a certain standard of excellence, a certain standard that you should have known. Like, hey, this just comes with the territory. You claim to be a professional remodeler, so that should be part of your practice, like standard practice. That's it. You should have known. How did you not know? That's what they're going to say. So the law doesn't care if you're being nice. The homeowner attorney sure won't care that you were being nice. They're going to be thankful that you were being nice. And they say, thank you. We're all getting paid now. Thanks to Bill. All right. So I know what you're thinking. Maybe, right? What do I do if a homeowner asks me to handle this type of a situation? And look, inside places like ours, like the Remodeling Academy, we go through these scenarios to help protect guys like you and me, remodelers, right? First thing you got to do, you got to communicate clearly with the homeowner without stepping and putting yourself into any liability. There's specific language that you got to use. Second, you have to document the actions, because you need to protect yourself right then and there in case any of this starts to go sideways, and it usually goes quickly. You got to use some industry positioning that keeps you looking like the pro that you are while not stepping in to the risk, right? And not taking that hot potato. Don't put the grenade in your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when to step in, and you got to know when to step out. And this is how smart GCs and remodelers handle themselves. So this is not something that you can wing in the moment. And especially if you got to train your guys. Like, hey guys, if we're doing such and such, any demolition, and we come across something that has certain characteristics, looks a certain way, we might think we know what it is. Well, here's the problem. We ain't not going to do anything until we do the following, right? You got to get serious about this. This is just Remodeler Intelligence 101. This isn't 20 years ago. This isn't 40 years ago. This isn't how your granddad would run his remodeling business. Lawsuits are no joke these days. So you got to reserve the right to protect yourself and learn how to do that, right? So if you're serious about protecting your business, then you know how to do this. All right. So what are some of the dangers of ignorance? Well, what if you keep winging it? What if you treat mold just like any other thing and you just try to clean it and move on, right? Well, you could lose your license. You could lose any insurance coverage that you had. You could also be blamed for others' health issues that potentially arise. And literally, your business and all the money that you've saved and earned, it could all go away. Don't be that guy. Don't say yes to trying to do a favor and help clean up like this thing that you're thinking, it's just like a $300 extra for us to do that. I'm going to get some bleach. I'll take care of it. No, you won't. No, sir. All right. So look, if this episode has made your stomach drop some, good, right? Be aware, be smart. That's the first step, recognizing it and being aware. All right. You might not know how to handle it right now, but you're on your way. And that means that you care, right? It means that you get it. You understand the importance of what we're talking about. So any remodelers here, you want to step up your game, get better. First thing I can suggest, it's free. Get my book, Get Paid to Estimate, and we'll get you started on the journey. All right, that's free. It's at the Remodeling Academy. You can pick that up. Also, join our Facebook group. Get on over to Remodelers Helping Remodelers. We raise the bar for everyone there. You get connected. You are how do I say this? The people that you surround yourself with will influence you. You want to be around positive people? You want to grow your business? Then get around positive people that are growing their business. Stop being around all the naysayers and all the burnt out bills and the broke bobs. You know what I'm saying? Get around people that are having success. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our podcast, give us a like here and there, throw in a comment, tell us thanks. Say, yeah, I'm aware of that. Glad you're sharing it for others. Say something. Be positive. Spread the wealth. Think about it this way. You like when your clients give you positive reviews and say something good? Karma. Put it out there for others. Say something positive. If you've learned something from us today, thank us for it. Share it with someone else. Pass it along. All right, guys, that is it. And I understand that this industry is challenging. I don't take for a minute that it's not tough. I clearly recall the struggles that I went through the first few years in growing my business. That is why I do this, because I want to help others not have the success. I remember how everything was guarded when I was starting out. You couldn't get much information because the guys that succeeded, they knew how hard it was to succeed. They didn't want to share shit, right? Nobody wants to talk about it because guys are afraid. Think about it this way. The average remodeler who's successful doesn't always know why he's even been successful. He just is like, thank God that I've survived this long. And they're scared that it could be taken from them at any moment. Now, what's amazing is, and the irony to all this is, once you understand that building a successful remodeling business is really just you being disciplined and putting certain frameworks into place and then being consistent and working through the issues of implementation and growing, then you recognize this industry isn't as scary as it seems. And you're willing to share because you recognize that the hard thing is just showing up every day. And that's why most people burn out, right? But now that you know that if you just put the proper frameworks in place, that you can be successful, you don't have to be scared about letting the secrets out of the bag. Like I can share all the secrets with you, right? Because the reality is I'll share them and like 5 guys won't even do anything with it because they'll want to debate and argue and say, that ain't the way it is. Really? It is. All right. Anyhow, so guys, I get it. I remember what it was like when I knew how to go around. I could swing a hammer, but I didn't necessarily know how to swing a business. If you find yourself in that situation, then get on board, hang out more, and listen, learn. We'll share as much as we can and as much as you're willing to take on. So this is the Hack Hour. This is the Remodeling Academy. And you, my friend, are not average. You're better than that. You are a remodel rebel. Let's keep raising the bar. Keep getting out of it. Don't quit. Don't give up. If you need help, you know where to get it. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Hack Hour podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.